if you can see what's happening, you'll notice there are actual signs from God that money is coming into your life. Now, this is important to know because you may or may not be doing the things that are blocking you from attracting money into your life. And so I want to share with you these 3 quick and easy steps that are signs from God that you're about to be blessed with large sums of unexpected money, that you're about to have a success at what you're working on or what you're thinking about. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. Here's 3 quick and easy signs. Make sure you hit the like button right over there and right over there. And be sure to check out jakeshypnosis.com in the description in the comments. It's my free success hypnosis to reprogram your mind for financial success. The first sign from God that money is flowing into your life is a understanding that God itself is an infinite source of energy. Alan Watts says that you can't get wet by the word water. So you can call it God, you can call it Spirit, you can call it Allah, you can call it Krishna, you can call it Frank, you can call it Jessica, you can call it the universe, you can call it anything you want. Consciousness, divine mind, the quantum field. Alan Watts says you can't get wet by the word water, right? So you can call it anything that you want, but the fact is there is an infinite originating source of energy, an originating source of the universe. We now know from science that everything in the physical universe is actually energy. So everything from the wall to my face, it's all 99.999% empty energy. That's all it is. And there's just a bunch of different frequencies of this one energy. And if you look at the universe itself, it's always for expansion. It's infinite in nature. We know from science energy is never created or destroyed. So that can only postulate one theory, which is the theory of life, which is infinite and always for fuller expansion in its very essence and nature. Well, money is just one little part of that same universal flow of life. So therefore, money follows the same flow of infinite expansion in your life. But we've been conditioned by a divide and rule society that there have been a select group of people that have tried to basically control and have power over the whole human race. And this has gone on for a very, very, very long time. The way that it's done is that these people understand that life is all about psychology and perception. They understand all these things about living in a field of consciousness, and that consciousness creates reality, and it's really like a hallucination we're having from energy that's circulating through our nervous systems and our neurons in our brain and is producing this electrical current that we perceive as reality. And they've known this about perception, and the way, if you're trying to control the world, how do you do it? You got to control the resources, and you got to control the money. And you got to make sure other people don't have power. In our world, power is money. So how do you make sure other people don't have money? Well, you have to convince them that money is bad. You have to convince them that God won't love them if they have money. You got to convince them they live in a finite world. You got to convince them that they don't have enough degrees, they don't have enough resources, they don't have the right network, therefore it's going to negatively affect their net worth. You have to convince them of all these things through generations so that you have the power that you crave. And our parents, through generations of our families and our DNA and our collective consciousness of society as well, we've been programmed to believe in an illusory limitation of abundance. And so you have to start to retrain that pattern and start to see the world and recognize that that's an illusion. And when you shift your consciousness and you understand that abundance, financial abundance, can flow to you every day in every way in increasing quantities, when that line of thinking starts to dominate your thought instead of, oh, I'm too young and I'm too old and I don't know enough people and I don't have the resources and I don't know how this will work out, or I don't know what to do, or I don't know if I'm even good enough, or if I have this, you just get rid of it and understand that Financial abundance flows to you every day in every way. So comment that down below. Financial abundance flows to me every day in every way. The second step or sign that you're really receiving that it's about to come into your life is this vision that you've been blessed with, this goal that you've been blessed with. You trust it to unfold. You decide that you want to have more money in your life, and you've set new goals for yourself and new strategy and plans. You don't worry about if or how it's going to work out, so much so to the point that you don't do anything anyways. Because you can't see the whole puzzle piece, so you're not going to do it anyways. What you have to do is you have to trust that when you call bigger and better into your life and you demand it of yourself as well, you can't help but get those results. But what most people do is when they want more money, they tell themselves that it's not going to happen because they don't know how it'll work out. Like, I didn't know how when I was 19 years old and I dropped out of college and I decided I was going to backpack around the world and then write a self-published book about it and sell it out of the trunk of my car. I didn't know how it was going to work out. And most people said, this is going to be, you're never going to make any money. This is never going to be successful and da-da-da. I just had to let go of the thought of it failing altogether. And when I did that, it made me let go of the perception altogether that this might not work out financially. I might not be able to support myself. This may not be my path. Maybe I don't know enough about business or being an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I'm not going to be a good enough writer. Or maybe eventually I'm not going to meet the right people. Like, I just didn't allow that perception to even be in my consciousness. And I truly believed that money was coming into my life eventually if I continued to pursue my dreams in life. And that's the challenge. And when you hit that threshold where you're no longer like, oh my gosh, is it going to work out? That's the sign that, boom, something good is about to come into your life. That's the sign that the money's about to come. The job's about to come. The first time I got my big speaking gig, I was 22, and my first book with Penguin Random House had just come out, and I got a book advance, but the book advance doesn't come in regularly. It's like every 9 months or something like that, or maybe it's every 12 months. And so I was just living off of off one check that had come in that was enough to keep writing and finishing my book and stuff like that. But it wasn't the amount of money that I needed or wanted to be making. I kept just pursuing that it would work out. And what happened was my book came out. I did a talk show radio called Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. In the middle of the night, Pacific time, they air from like midnight to 2 a.m. or something like that. And a woman was asleep in her home on East Coast time, so it was probably like 3 a.m. her time. And she couldn't sleep, so she hit the radio to put the radio on so there was a little noise, and then she was going to fall back asleep. Well, when she hit the radio, it went to the Coast to Coast AM station. I was on being interviewed for it. She worked for a major company, and then she heard my voice. She wrote my name down on a little notepad, fell back asleep. The next morning, emailed me, and I got my first 5-figure, very large speaking fee for speaking to the company, to the organization. That's what kickstarted my whole momentum of eventually having a successful business. It was my first huge client. It came in the middle of the night with somebody that fell asleep, hit the button, heard the thing, wrote my name down. Like, that's just God. And you will get to the point where God will start to bless your life in financial abundance when you don't get swept up in the fact that it might not work out. Just forget about it and trust one simple statement. God's wealth can flow to you in avalanches of abundance when you aren't afraid to claim it and ask for it. God's wealth will flow to you in avalanches of abundance. That's like one of my favorite financial affirmations. I put it in my free success hypnosis if you want to check it out. It's right there down below is what I was talking about earlier. It's in the description in the comments right there down below. It's at jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com, and that's my free financial success hypnosis. I made it for myself about that time, and I would listen to it twice a day, and it changed my life. It's free. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. The third and final sign that you're about to have some fantastic financial success come into your life with your chosen endeavor is that you've let go of the need for validation. This is huge because it's encoded into our DNA, the need to be liked and be a part of a tribe, of a group, of other people of society. And so we're embedded very deeply with the need for validation, but oftentimes this inhibits us from our own greatness and our own true calling in life and our highest level of success. It's the guy that was at the office that has had a business idea and is thinking about quitting, and they want to go to the business idea, and they tell the other guys that are all at the office, and they say, hey, here's my idea, and everyone else laughs. You serious? Yeah, you were serious, but now you're starting to think it's not a very good idea because everybody else that has a mediocre life that's never achieved anything is pulling you back into the hole with everybody else. You talk yourself out of it, or it's the guy or the woman that has a new book, a new product, a new invention. They have a certain service that they offer that can help people, but they never charged for it before. Or they've never sold the product before, and they've never offered the service before in a formal manner. So they feel awkward. They feel like sales is bad. It's sleazy to sell, or it's uncomfortable to market or advertise. It's uncomfortable to put yourself out there or your company out there because you don't know how people are going to take it. You don't know how people are going to respond. So what happens is people never really put their foot on the gas pedal, so to speak, because the need for validation is kind of like a governor on our car. Governor on a car, and the car maybe really can go up to 160, but they set the governor for 118. Well, that's kind of what happens to us. The governor is set by a subconscious need to be validated by others. But that people pleasing actually stops us from everything we really wanted in life. And it stops us from ever being our true selves. Instead, we're more worried about the image other people have of us than we are about achieving our own inner visions and images. So you must grasp that it's not your job to get everybody to like you. It's your job to follow your dreams and claim the success that's rightfully yours. So that means marketing is good. Sales is good. Telling people about your ideas are good. Offering to serve people is good. Receiving money for what you want is good. Some people not liking you is good. It's fine. Who cares? Don't worry about it. Some people aren't going to like what you do. It's good. Don't worry about it. Jack Canfield said SW, SW, SW 4 times. So it means some will say yes. Some will say yes, so they'll buy from you, they'll like what you do, they'll support your ideas, they'll encourage you, they'll give you a pat on the back. Some won't. Some will say no, some will say your idea is stupid, some will buy your product and hate it. They'll read your book and they'll say it sucks, happened to me, just the way it is. Especially when you start reaching people in mass with your ideas, products, services, business, inventions, whatever they are, the more you reach people in mass, of course, the more you're going to have people that don't like it because you're reaching more people. It's just the law of averages. And it's turning the noise down on that. And when you can turn the noise down on that, it allows you to truly be the best at offering your service, the best at marketing it, the best at selling it, the best at inventing it, the best at being a leader, the best at this, the best you can be at it. You've taken the governor off your own mind because you're no longer subconsciously holding back for fear of being scolded, invalidated, criticized. You've just dropped that, and then it opens you up to a whole reservoir of talents that you didn't know you really had, and opportunities that you didn't really know were available to you. And this is the most important sign, I think, that you're going to be blessed wonderfully financially, that you're going to succeed at your chosen endeavor. You're going to have a lot of financial success that will flow to you. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you check out my new software. It's called the Second Mind Neuro Programmer. I created an actual software, a piece of technology for myself. Once I learned all this stuff about the mind and neuroplasticity and how your nerve cells and your neural networks actually build these connections based off of dominant memories and beliefs and emotions. So your brain basically gets wired for your reality. When you ask, well, why am I not very confident? Or why do I not make that much money? Or why am I not that successful? Why have I not attracted my soulmate? Why has this not, why is my life the way it is? Well, it's that way because actually from the time we're little, our brain memorizes and builds actual neural networks, real connections in the brain, in the same way that when you go to an old forest and all the trees have interconnected roots down below, that's kind of like your neural networks. They're all these interconnected networks or synaptic connections, neural networks in our brain that are built over time, and then they create how our brain habitually creates reality in the future. Well, we know from neuroplasticity that you can rewire or reprogram your brain. The brain is moldable. Plastic is a weird word. I always think it's a weird word to use for it. Because when I think of plastic, it makes me associate with plastic, which isn't always soft. But the word neuroplasticity basically means neurosoft. It means neuromoldable, like neuro for brain, and then plastic for moldable, for soft, for changeable. That we know from neuroplasticity, the brain is changeable, it's malleable, it's adaptable. You can reprogram it the same way you can build bigger muscles. And so I created a software to do that for myself. You can use a free demo of it. It changed my life. There's been over, I think, like 300,000 people from all over the world that have now at least done a free demo of it. And it's right there down below. It's thesecondmind.com. It's in the description in the comments. And it's a free demo. I give the demo of the financial one. So you could check that out and start rewiring and reprogramming your mind, your brain, when you take it back from all of our old DNA programming and societal programming in the powers that be that have conditioned us to believe and get attached to our own financial limitations. When you erase all that, you open yourself up to a whole new vista of possibilities in your life, especially financially. So be sure to step out of your first mind, the one programmed by society, and into your second mind, the one that's programmed for success, wealth, and all the things that you want in life. It's right there down below. It's thesecondmind.com. It's in the description in the comments, right there down below, pinned to the comments. So make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video as well. The like button is what sends us out into the YouTube universe. More people see it. So if you want to support my work, support the channel, support the videos, all you got to do is just hit the like button right over there on this side and right over there on this side, and they'll send this out into the YouTube universe to make sure more people are seeing the videos. You can subscribe, hit the bell notification, and have a fantastic day.